Hello, race friends! Welcome back to week 4 of the Swiss brackets for the Legend of Zelda Randomizer tournament. My name is Magic Friends, and I'm here with Lorgan.
Hey, looking forward to a race.
This looks like it's going to be a really good one. We've got Czardia and Eat My Steel. We are in the 1-2 bracket, so these runners could easily have been 2-1 or better going into this week, but have had some pretty rough matchup against very good opponents. We have a ton of strong runners in this tournament, so this is going to really make a big difference on which one of these has to play into the bracket of 128. There's going to be a handful of runners that have to play in a extra week to break us down to a 64-person bracket. So a win here will go a long way to getting away from having to do that extra race.
Indeed, yeah. I think there were 82 entrants into this tournament. There's a lot of matches going on, and like you said, a really deep field. But it looks like we're getting started, and it looks like they are going to be starting at Recorder Lake. We'll see if they'll return there later.
That's a rough place to start. There are a few open caves to the right, but it's very hard to up A from there and have any good progress unless we find some any roads early.
That's what I was just about to say, unless we get lucky with some any roads right near there, and once they get a candle, this area will hopefully become a little bit friendlier. But it looks like both runners have headed to Vanilla 3. And I suppose that was a door repair charge.
And we've got both runners heading over into the forgotten southwest corner here. So to start off, we're going to be looking for take any spots where we can pick up a candle, or they will be looking for the wood sword. In this current flag set, the wood sword can be blocked by an Overworld item. So if we find something like under the Armor statue that could give us either a raft location, a power bracelet, or a recorder, then the wood sword could be blocked by any of those. This
has been amazing synchronization between these two runners. They've been within 1 second of each other for a full minute here. It's crazy.
Yeah, they're frames away from each other right now.
Oh, finally a difference. Was that the raft I just saw?
I believe it was on the right-hand Armor statue. Yeah,
that actually could be really interesting if it does turn out to be that the wood sword is on an island, but we'll see. There's still a lot of open caves.
I wouldn't be surprised if one of them just... Yeah, Czardia is going to up A here and might actually go for that first draft location right now. A lot of times if you get a blocking item, you immediately check those locations because of such a high likelihood that if the sword got put on the location, then the game's code can make it that the raft has to be that spot.
And it's also good just in terms of mitigating against your opponent. If you get an item that could block or unblock you somewhere or whatever, try to press that advantage as much as possible. But once again, the runners are staying pretty much in sync. Both have found to take any, and both have decided to take the blue candle. So we'll see some burn bushes coming up soon.
So here's the difference. Eat My Steel is going to check these open spots at your start, whereas Czardia is going for that raft location first.
And they're the first to sail across the water. Let's see what it nets them. That's a level.
That is our level block. So at least one level has to be blocked. It can also be the white sword item could be blocked, but level 1 being the blocked spot is very big.
Unfortunate that there's those two key doors on the left-hand side and right-hand side. They can't use the usual pirouette tricks to open right here.
True. As soon as they get a sword, though, Czardia is going to be able to go dig out level 1, which is going to give them the chance to get 2 items. For Eat My Steel right now doesn't even know that it's there. And he up A to go use that candle as well.
Indeed. Looks like heading over toward the graveyard area.
Gibdos on the Overworld makes it very difficult for them to farm a bomb off of the blue candle. A lot of times you try to save that first enemy kill for with a blue candle for something that can drop a bomb, and if you do, a lot of times you will get a bomb.
There was Bomb Shop that showed the bomb prices at 21, which is not too unreasonable.
Yeah, it's not something you're going to go out of your way to go grab until you're out of bombs, but that's a fine price where if I've got some money lying around, I'm probably topping off when I see the shop.
Yeah, and with these flags, given that it's a first quest overworld, unless everything kind of rolls down, it's usually the case that the runners end up having plenty of money on these seeds, it seems.
Yeah, we've seen many seeds won by people having enough money to buy either a blue ring, or the person who bought arrows first is able to beat a Goma that the other one isn't.
Looks like White Sword item was the extra container heart.
It's actually, I know it's annoying for the runners because you're like, man, I just wanted an item there, but it does make it that you, when you're in 1 or 2, if you find the heart container on the ground, you knew that was the actual heart container and you're not questioning whether or not that's the floor drop.
Ah, that's a good point. I hadn't thought about that aspect of logic given these flags since there's no heart shuffle.
Czardia is still only on blue candle, but they're gonna dig out level 7.
Yeah, I don't mind the strategy of just trying to peek in a few rooms just in case you happen to get lucky and pull something amazing out. If there happen to be a easy staircase that gets you to a wand or a white sword, that could be an early game changer, and if not, you can just spend, less than a minute and keep on moving.
I think also something that probably made Czardia consider that play, if they found a key on the floor, they could go back to 1.
That's true. That's a good point. So it looks like Eat My Steel has also discovered the location of level 1.
Oh, that is maximum big monies. 150 on our big monies. We're already at 37 for our medium and 150 for our big, so this is the kind of seed where you almost want to find a shop right now and just
there's the arrow shop, for example. Yep, there we go. They've got arrows.
So with this kind of money, if Czardia finds another large secret, they'd have enough for a blue ring immediately.
Or alternatively, a handful of keys, potentially.
Yeah, this early in the seed, it's hard to determine which one's more important, because you're like, I know I'm going to find money later, but if the old adage of, finding the blue ring finds you the red ring.
Well, one of the Any roads was a little bit of a troll in terms of bringing to the power bracelet spot right near the start, so that'll be a little bit hard to get back into unless they clip until they get the power bracelet.
Czardia is going to use it to get over to the Lost Woods. Eat My Steel finding their big secret, so they're up to almost over 200 rupees here.
I imagine he's probably also going to go ahead and buy the arrow when he steps in the shop.
Yeah. So again, both of our runners are within about 30 to 40 seconds of each other. If we still haven't seen the sword, which at this point is probably going to be somewhere in either... I would bet it's going to be up in the northeast corner near the 100 Secret. Either the 100 Secret itself or the tree just below it.
Yeah, there's a few open caves up in that direction, so there's pretty good odds there. But yeah, with the candle, the runners are doing a decent job just staying alive in this overworld, and so they can kind of just explore at pace, get a bunch of these things, note down their locations, and hope they stumble upon something good.
Mm-hmm. No whiz robes and no dark nuts, so it's not a terrible overworld. The only swapping we've had to the overworld, it seems, was not Gorias. Thank you. And once again, we have both runners on the same screen. 8 minutes in now.
That said, given that we haven't had many of the difficult enemies shuffled onto the overworld, it probably means that there might be some difficult dungeons in store. So maybe with all this money, we will end up seeing a blue ring purchase. Eat My Steel is found level 2.
Was under the
around in here. Go ahead.
It was under the armors to the right of Vanilla 2, so Czardia will probably comment on that in just a moment as they finish their lap in the top right corner.
Well, there's a free heart, which could be worth another free heart at some point for Czardia. And there's the Wood Sword Cave. I'm not sure if Eat My Steel's at Vanilla 2 right now. Yeah.
They are. 0 for 1 on predictions today, but that's fine. I'd much rather be 0 for 1 on the races I'm not running.
That's one of the spots that I will often check almost last, just because it's inconvenient to get to, and especially if there's a difficult enemy going up and down that ladder just to the south of the Vanilla 2 spot. I always struggle getting up there.
Did you see what Czardia there? They kept going back in and out of the tree fort to get the one blue Octorok to spawn so they could farm a bomb off of it, and that meant that they got to clear off a couple more of these bomb checks up in this corner without having to come back later.
That's great. That's good in terms of, routing and also just, the skill of knowing what to do there. So yeah, like you said, might be a 1 and 2 matchup, but these are not inexperienced runners.
Oh yeah, it's even some of the people, one of my opponents in one of the previous rounds is currently 0 and 4, and they're like one of the best runners in their region. It was one of the French guys, Panouf, and he's like one of the best French runners, and he's 0 and 4. Like, that's how hard this tournament is that it doesn't matter. It's going to be every seed's going to be trolly, every seed can be won or lost by anybody.
Well, Eat My Steel has made his way over to the other raft spot, where he's going to find 150 more free money. We're rich beyond our wildest dreams.
You know what the sword item is, you've got the armor, you got the heart. I almost wonder if I know he's going to go up here, he's probably going to clear out these bomb spots, but if he clears these out and he runs into a mugger room, there's a good chance he might up A and save before the mugger takes his money. Oh, we got... Yeah, our free items were unuseful, and a raft, so... Eat My Steel clipped back into the Take Any, so he's going to find the last one, which is actually on the coast. And then there's one more that's going to bring him up to... Monocle Rock? Monocle Rock. I was going to say Spectacle. I knew that was wrong.
Not the worst any roads, but not super great.
Both runners are now equipped with their sword. So now it's time to figure out which of these dungeons that we found 3 dungeons already. 1, 7, and 2. I didn't see if we popped up another one.
Yeah, the key block in 1 is really, a potential, like, you definitely want to try to get into 1 as soon as possible, and so I do think that at some point we're going to see a key purchase from one of these runners, unless they happen to dive into another dungeon quickly and manage to pull a quick key out.
Yeah, I agree. And I think that's probably why I suggested that maybe Eat My Steel up an A when he finds one of the mugger rooms, but he chose not to, and that's probably a good reason why. He's probably just saying, you know what, I'm a good enough runner, I can just use this to buy 2 to 3 keys, and I saw what was blocking me in 1, and that's really where I want to go next.
And Czardia is also going to get the good news about the big money on the coast draft spot. Eat My Steel found another Take Any and grabs a heart. Right, Czardia had already been up into this corner.
We're kind of like passing each other on our routing, so both runners have pretty much seen the same stuff right now. And they're going to end up on the same screen again, too. They're going to be about one screen apart.
And this is something that I've seen a number of runners do, really. Like, even if you do sometimes get a reasonably early wood sword, a lot of people will just try to cover as much of the overworld as they can right at the beginning, so that they can kind of like start planning a route through the seed rather than doing much early dungeon diving. We've only managed to find, like 3 dungeons or whatever so far, so I imagine either they're going to be blocked or there's a cluster of them up on Death Mountain, perhaps.
And a big factor is that we have seen an overworld block of at least 1 dungeon, so there's no guarantee that there's any more. We do find level 4 waterfall.
Ah. Czardia does a pirouette and ends up getting a free bomb hole to the north.
And Czardia using a strat that I just learned this about a couple weeks ago. If you stand right on the double turret room, if you stand right in between the 2 fireball turrets, you actually can prevent them from firing until you move away. They will fire as soon as you move away, but if you just hang out right in between the 2, it kind of triggers the game that like you're too close to them for them to fire, and buys you a lot of time in those rooms. Oh, sorry, mad dashing through there to get that check and gets rewarded with nothing.
Eat My Steel manages to find the floor heart in level 3. Unfortunately, there's also a lot of blue dark nuts in here, and Eat My Steel decides, you know what, we might come back to that room later.
So where was level 3? I didn't actually see that.
I missed it as well. Although Czardia just entered as well, so it's got to be somewhere in that Lost Hills this region.
Chat, let us know where level...
I guess it was north of the waterfall, like at the top of the lake.
Gotcha. Oh, actually, okay, so 4 is at the waterfall, 3 is at the 100 secret in Deadwoods.
Got it. So I guess our runners had up-aid after they finished the waterfall area.
So we're 17 minutes in, both runners have exactly the same stuff, and we're in the same dungeon, so this is a very close race right now.
Looks like Eat My Steel is setting up Katanaki.
Pulls it off. Nice.
Czardia is clipped into the block in order to fight these blue dark nuts. A strategy that is likely to work, but it's going to take some time. In the meantime, Eat My Steel is looking for some faster rooms or easier rooms to try to clear. But perhaps it's decided that it is going to go back and check out that same one with a single push block. It does look suspicious for possibly having the item.
Now that Czardia's got most of this room done, actually, nice heart pickup piece there, so should be able to get this last one and we'll get an idea of what's in here.
It's the bow! That's a fantastic pull. And, yeah, both of our runners already bought arrows. And so that's a nice upgrade. It's not going to do much of anything against the Dark Nuts, but there's a lot of other enemies that'll be very useful against. And given that these flag sets also have extra bosses, it means we won't have to worry about getting Goma blocked in a dungeon. So yeah, Eat My Steel is biding his time in the Blue Darknet room, but it looks like we're going to be, yeah, very close, because now Zardia is in this room, but Eat My Steel had already finished, and so this room is going to take Zardia another 30 seconds or so to finish up. Really close race. With only one Blue Darknet remaining, Eat My Steel steps off the block and discovers that it was totally worth the time investment. He is also picking up the bow, and we are once again going to be even on items.
Once again, this level 3 gave us no key, so that's real unfortunate for both runners. But we have enough money to go do something about that. Ooh, okay. Level
It's
9
handy
is...
that it's near their spawn spot, so getting back to 9 at the end will be easy. And it's also just a couple squares south of the ferry.
Yes. That's one thing that always gets me is, like, do I take the time to walk after I pick up my last triforce? And then I don't have to worry about, like, what the enemy set is as much in 9, or do I, like, up A and just go? So it takes that question out of the runner's hands. No reason to pick that up, Czardia. You can't get over 255 with a current mode. Wait until Fred makes a way to get over 255 and we turn on rupee speed.
Oh dear.
Eli Steele's still digging out this 3. He found the Triforce.
And could just walk in and pick it up. Just has to avoid some handle fireballs for a moment and has no problem. So just like that, looks like that dungeon is all done. We've got our first Tringle up on the board. But yeah, Zardia is sitting at 255 rupees, Eat My Steel has 231. I can't remember if they've seen a key shop anywhere near here. Oh wow, level 1, Triforce for Zardia, just like that. I'm sure Zardia is going to head back in and check out a couple more rooms if possible.
That also, by picking up the Triforce there and not leaving the room, so because the shutter door on the left-hand side, when he cleared that room open, Zardia was able to up A, and it unlocks the door on the left, because the game is like, oh, hey, a door on the left unlocked. And then the next time he goes into that room of the dungeon, it's like, oh, well, the last time you were here, the first thing you did was unlock that door on the left, so it must still be open, right? And so he got one of the key doors to open by doing that.
That's terrific, because we were talking about how important these keys are. That first room didn't pay off, but there's still more available here.
Yeah, 3 not having keys, almost a very high number of the walls in 3 generally will bomb. So then,
red ring on the floor in 1, and a boomerang below it that Zardia is going to go ahead and pick up. And so with that, Zardia has gotten the key items out of Dungeon 1.
That was a fast one for Zardia.
Meanwhile, Eat My Steel found level 8. I think it must have been somewhere near Vanilla Start, and immediately finds a staircase sitting near Gliak. But with beam swords, he's going to go ahead and try to take this boss down, so it'll be gone forever.
And in level 8, I believe this is a drop room. I'm not quite as confident as some of the runners about like which ones.
Yeah, I think this is a potential drop room. In this instance, it did not, and I imagine this will be a transport staircase. Yeah, but Eat My Steel has earned some permanent passage into this next segment of the dungeon.
In all honesty, it could have dropped a rupee and we wouldn't know.
And it looks like Zardia is headed right over in that direction. Zardia does have bombs, and so it sounds like opening up this bomb spot could have Zardia back in Dungeon 8 as well. And once again, our runners could be virtually in sync. Circle Moat, Manahandla, only 1 bomb, but has the bow and arrow and lots of rupees. Eat My Steel is going to try to do some skill shots.
So this is much scarier for yeah, very scary for Eat My Steel. Without the blue ring, without a ring, he's going to do a ton of damage. But Zarya is just going to be able to walk in there and just fire things at random. Zarya has almost nothing left to buy but keys at this point, having found the red ring.
So Eat My Steel is headed right back in this direction. I'll be curious to see. Well, this time chooses a different direction to go. Aquamentus will be easy to take down. Meanwhile, Czardia has found some non-boss Dodongos. That was the Triforce for Eat My Steel in level 8. So there's another Triforce taken. And the white sword, oh my goodness.
Yeah, Czardia is in, like, probably about as full of combat as they're gonna get in this seed. Once you're on red ring and white sword, these runners don't need to, like, mess around with a master sword. You just
add a bow and arrow and 255 rupees, like, other than a bomb upgrade, like, there isn't much more you could ask for. Magic sword is nice, but these runners probably don't need it and won't necessarily go for it. Just going for speed in the race.
This one key should just... There we go, got the keys too.
And look at this, now we don't have to worry about spending money on keys either. It's the any key for Czardia.
Wow.
Rains and pours. What was a dead heat, all of a sudden has switched majorly in favor of Czardia.
So Eat My Steel has that found the Triforce in 8, correct?
Correct.
But then Czardia is finding all the items, and Eat My Steel is trying to go so fast that they're not getting all the things to help them go fast.
Right, and on top of that, yeah, Eat My Steel is still sitting at 0 keys right now. Well, here's a ladder block and 4. So
and that is a hard
anywhere
ladder
in
block.
that dungeon. Yep. No other way to go. And it's unfortunate, I guess Eat My Steel had died on the screen before, and so didn't get a chance to kind of peek into 4 and do the top of the waterfall a little bit earlier, perhaps. And so, had to do all the traversal to get back up here, and then just find out that you're blocked.
Yeah, the hype of being like, yes, I found the thing that I needed, and it didn't matter. But that's actually probably a little better for Eat My Steel. We know that he's going to want to go back into 8 at some point and get those items. So having blocks in the dungeons or overworld blocks for the rest of the dungeons will push him back into that 8 faster or back into that 1 faster. And that is true, Matt. Yeah, when you get that any key, you feel like every time you see a keyboard, you're like, let me bash through that because I got the any key. But sometimes it just leads you off onto different tracks. Czardia playing with their food.
Might as well.
Just plopping meat all over the place. Yeah, I think Czardia is just playing with a different colored sprite, but they have the red ring that they got out of level
1. Bomb spot by the grave, just had a little bit of money. And looks like Eat My Steel is probably going to take a shot at picking up this white sword heart that I thought was in the 4th Thermos. No, it was the 2nd one. And it's going to require 6 to lift. So another disappointment for Eat My Steel.
I blame CJ. He's always taking all those hearts.
Blue Land Mola, never any fun, but at least entering from the east side. And with the red ring and the white sword, if you had to face tank it, you probably could. There's another heart for Eat My Steel, and as a result, he can always go back and get another one.
Yeah, it seems like they're gonna go do that. Yeah, like this is the kind of room with a red ring coming in handy. Oh, and it pays off. The red ring comes in so much handy there because you can just walk into a lifelike and then kill it from the inside, and you're taking a half a heart of damage. Wow. Czardia is rolling 7s on this. See, that is the recorder. That's one of the last things that he could have blocked, and now they also have a way to start moving around from dungeon to dungeon to get faster movement on the overworld, especially with the kind of subpar starting location we have.
Yeah, and so in terms of the tracking, it looks like we don't have Triforce 8 marked for My Steel just yet. We did pick that one up. And then, yeah, Czardia just got the reporter. Wow, there's so little standing in Czardia's way at this point.
Yeah. The tracker's been being a little bit fickle, but we really appreciate ProPiece for sticking with it.
Yeah.
Smashing the keys. A lot of times what happens is like you have to refresh the page that the tracker's on, and until the page like updates, you're like, I hit this 5 times and it doesn't do anything.
Technology.
Oh, that's
and
okay.
It's Eat My Steel, not Czardia, that has Triforce 8.
Did they both get it? Because Czardia ended up getting all the items out of it. But did they get the Triforce? They got the Triforce in 2. So
there we go.
Thank you, Saru.
Alright, Eat My Steel has 1 key. Is he going to consider going back to the island and checking out Dungeon 1? If he does, it could have a huge payoff.
I think he is right now. He's gonna screen clip right over here and then get into Dungeon 1.
Alright, and now the other question is, which way is he going to go? It might be the case that he'll be able to do that kind of within dungeon pirouette key unlock either way. And actually, if he chooses to go left, there was a key in the room, 2 rooms to the left of the entrance. So he'd get the key back going left and be able to get the red ring. And so if he chooses left, he'll definitely be in good shape. If he chooses right, he'll have to be a little bit cleverer.
Well, we also get to clear this room first, so that's smart. We're just going to get that empty, see what happens.
Oh, there was a key right here. Well, well, well. Problems solved.
Let's see, it looks like he's gonna... I bet you he's gonna go right now. Yeah, because he saw the top side of that room on the left.
Scary, scary. He's used both keys.
Alright, nope, not a key door here, and can try and get some bomb spots as well. That might let him navigate, but... Oh, there we go.
Oh.
We got another key.
Yeah, reward.
So Czardia is going up to East Death Mountain right now. So these are a couple of checks that they are making that we haven't seen quite yet. Another stack of cash.
The 4 heart on level 1 ended up being over here to the east, so at least Eat My Steel gets that.
They're up to 8 hearts already, and they didn't pick up the white sword heart, so that can get them to 9. Since they haven't found the white sword, it's still definitely reasonable.
They did pick up the white sword. They got another heart at Forgotten Spot and went back a second time, and Eat My Steel picked it up.
Oh, okay.
So we'll still need at least a couple out of dungeons if he wants to get a chance at mags. And I can't remember if we've seen the location of the magical sword.
I want to say it's at Vanilla. We definitely saw it. It was...
I shouldn't have watched a race right before this because the two are coming together in my head.
Oh, I watched the rerun of my own race, so now I'm like even more confused because watching other people do the same thing you've already done, but do it in a different order.
We have in chat. All right.
We still start.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's right.
Thank
Just
you.
yeah, just one screen, I think.
Yeah, start has like a dungeon, our start screen, mags, 9. That is a weird looking one.
There's the Any Road that's just a couple east of start that you either have to clip into or get the power bracelet eventually.
That is the... That one is just... I don't know why, but the fact that it's super symmetrical just like appeases my brain.
But yeah, Eat My Steel has just kind of lost every coin flip, it feels like. He's spending so much time in this one and hasn't managed to pull the items out yet. And if you just make a left turn right at the beginning, it ends up being such a different dungeon.
True.
Oh, look at the bomb force by Czardia right there. Bombing a Tektite. Gets the bomb drop.
That'll let them finish clearing out the rest of this.
That's a really good play on Death Mountain. And there's topped off on money once again with the third big secret. So yeah, at this point, buying a red potion and buying the bomb upgrades whenever you encounter them. I think Czardia already has the meat.
Yes,
the Yeti key. Like, there's nothing to buy. Just buy the hints, just to show off at this point.
Look like Eat My Steel got a little low on health while fighting these blue gorillas, so to be safe, they went back and up-aid at to lock that room and then just get these last 2 kills, which is, again, just knowing, it shows that they're really staying focused on the race and not like bashing their head against stuff, because a lot of times when you haven't found much at 36 minutes, it can get kind of frustrating.
Indeed.
But,
well, they're about to find something exciting at 36.5 minutes, because here's the red ring on the floor, and here's the very exciting banana downstairs. Which Eat My Steel also does go and pick up.
Ooh, actually picks 2 banana pickups, and nobody lit them on fire. Alright, Triforce for Eat My Steel. They are up to 3 Triforces now. At some point, hopefully, we can double check how many Czardia has. Because I can't remember how many they have picked up right now. But Czardia, yeah, was able to save a lot of time in that one.
Yeah, both doing less of it and also doing it earlier to get the earlier red ring, which helped pull the white sword out of 8. So that ended up just being a huge pivot in a race that started out just like dead even with the runners in sync for quite a bit at the beginning.
Yeah, we were on the same screen with the same information at about 18 minutes, if I remember correctly. So Eat My Steel has gone to 7 now, so they are exploring new territory. Now the big thing that could help him right here is finding a ladder, because that will also open up level 4. And this has...
Oh no! The bubble bonked him, I think, into the Wall Master Hand. Fortunately, he wasn't that deep into the dungeon, and so didn't lose that much time, but it's just another one of those little things that has not gone his way.
Yeah. Alright, that actually helps. It pushed him back towards the compass, so that'll make it a lot faster for him to cover the dungeon, because we can just ignore any room that's not a staircase. Alright, so Czardia's up-aid and save there. They now have any key, 200 rupees, 8 bombs, and a fairy spot 2 steps away from start. So they are in... They have to find the ladder. That's what they're looking at right now. They know that 1, 2, and 8 are completely empty of items. They don't need anything from there. They've got the bow out of 3. So, where do we go now? Okay, back to 7.
Well, it's been a while since these runners had a high five, but maybe we will see one shortly. And we're going to get a chance to get a look at the map of 7 and name that ink plot.
It's a Brontosaurus.
That's what I was thinking too.
Alright, let's see if this room that we got wall mastered out of was the item. It is not.
I wonder, my steel grabbed that triforce really quick. No, he's going back in, no, going back out. Yeah, I think he's choosing to move on. So rather than try to take an item out of 7, my steel is going to gamble that we'll find a ladder or perhaps a power bracelet somewhere else. Moving with a purpose. I can't tell. I'm trying to remember what's over. Oh, the any road. He's going to clip in.
Yeah, they definitely have a focus on where they're going to go check next. I believe this was this level 2 over here in the armor statue. Yes. Alright, so level 2 will get us a recorder. And Evo still has plenty of triforces already cleared, so the recorder will help them get around the overworld.
Yep.
As long as they don't get bubble popped. This is a miserable room to have bubbles in. I almost like leave the room and reset it. Oh yeah, good job, EMS. Now this is what we can use our money on: shooting arrows in bubble rooms. Because I always say that the actual hidden super secret ability of the wand is having melee combat in bubble rooms. So Bo makes a good impersonation of that.
Czardia has managed to find the item in 7, and it is the power bracelet. And I guess we don't know if it's required, right?
Well, we still haven't seen 6, right?
Right, yeah.
I think we're missing 6. Is the only Avenger we're missing. Right?
And are there overworld spots that we've left behind other than those other 3 power bracelet spots?
Well, we've seen the recorder spot. We've seen both the.
Oh, it's a bomb upgrade. It's only plus 3 bombs though.
We've seen both the RAF spots. We've seen all of Death Mountain now. It's very likely that we've seen.
Yeah, I think there's a good odds. It seems like that the power bracelet is going to be required to get into a missing level here. So once again, it's putting Czardia in the driver's seat. But at the same time, I do not mind my steel's gamble at this point. Choosing not to dive the rest of 7, which was sizable, and instead hoping to get lucky somewhere else. Especially knowing that 2 is going to be an easy item pickup.
And having found the map tells us that if we need to go back to 7, at least we have a concept of where we're searching. So Emi Steel's probably like, you know what, I'm going to go get a little bit better combat. I'll find a white sword or a red ring or maybe even a blue, like the 3rd big secret in a blue ring, and then we'll be in much better shape to go back into that 7 and dig harder. However, what he doesn't know is that it seems everything is just trolling him this seed. Even the Dongos are just like, I don't know.
The Dongos always troll, though. That's their job. Churn at the absolutely wrong moment. Alright, we're going to check out another one of these power bracelet spots, and sure enough, level 6 is in the forest power bracelet spot, just south of the ferry. And right here at the beginning... Oh, it's got a shutter. I was thinking it was a possible staircase item, but I lied.
That means we needed both the raft and the power bracelet for this seed. And it also puts Emi Steel just a little bit farther behind, because now he does have to go back and find that item in 7.
Yep.
Czardia, they're making quick work of this seed, getting being diligent and grabbing those last couple of items in the dungeons has really paid off for them, and now it's a matter of execution. You know, it doesn't matter how much gear you have. When we start getting to like that 45-minute spot, like Czardia's got to be thinking, well, if I could find all these things, then so could Eat My Steel. And so, am I moving through rooms fast enough? Am I checking the right directions to like? Am I opening the wrong key doors and going down rabbit holes? So it doesn't matter how close you feel you are. And once you start getting to that 1 minute mark, you're just like, okay, let's keep going. Let's go.
The 1 minute mark is probably a little bit of a stretch, but the 1 hour mark, yes.
Yeah, work.
Alright, Eat My Steel does manage to pull the recorder, and he's just a couple rooms away from grabbing the triforce as well. So he's going to do the cleanup job that he needs to do in Dungeon 2, and then with the recorder and all the triforces he's holding, he'll be able to warp around the Overworld map a little bit faster. We'll see where he goes next.
Yeah, exactly what I'm trying to explain, Fury. I'm not doing a great job of it, but yeah, like, it doesn't matter that you have a lot of good gear. We still have to find the ladder. We still have to find the silvers, and then you have to do it all. Like, there's still a lot of space for Eat My Steel to use a lot of his knowledge of having played the game for a long time to catch up here.
Just like that, somehow Czardia is now up to 10 hearts. Has just become at least Magic Sword possibly eligible. But I don't know that that's a high priority. So far, we really haven't seen, especially with the Red Ring, runners struggling, with combat since then. And yeah, Magic Sword could speed some things up. And I guess it is close to, I believe, one of the dungeons that Czardia needs to go back to, and so it'll be interesting to see the routing, to see if there is a peak.
We'll probably see at least a peak when we go to 9, because it's right next to 9. Six, it seems like every room, as chat pointed out, 6 seems like there's a key in every room here. We found them all.
And we know that 4 is definitely ladder blocked, so the ladder is going to be required in this seed.
So it's either got to be here, or have we seen 5 yet?
I guess 5 is still outstanding as well. It would be really, interesting, ironic if it turns out that 5 ends up being the power bracelet spot over by the grave, for example.
A double power bracelet one?
Wow, looks like My Steel is finishing up at the corner of West Death Mountain. As Czardia continues to dig through a 6 that so far hasn't been too bad in terms of the enemies.
Yeah, I'm starting to get a little scared for what we're going to see in 9, because I don't think we've even
seen
Wizard yet.
Yeah.
You might still pick up the letter. That's going to let them pick up potions so that they can, if they find the 4th take any, I don't think they've found all 4 of their take any's right now, but they can grab a heart there and then just buy a potion. Well, that's not the corner that Czardia wanted to see the Triforce in.
My Steel has taken at least 3 take any's that I can recall. I can't remember if he got the 4th.
Yeah, I saw them get a candle and 2 hearts out of 1, but I can't remember if the 3rd one showed up. Oh, now this 6 is another spot where Eat My Steel could make up time if they go to the right first.
There's the map of 6.
Oh, Czardia actually up 8 from a lot of that space in the bottom there.
And it looks like Digdogger is blocking the Triforce, but both of our runners already have the recorder, so that's not going to hold anybody up. And actually both runners have a handy banana, which is actually quite useful for fighting this particular boss.
All right, Eli still back to 8. So this is going to.
Oh, good.
They have the triforce, so they are here for the items. They're gonna find all of their.
It's
quality of life
utility,
upgrades.
but it's still pretty handy and could speed things up. It's just a question of how much time it's going to take for Eat My Steel in order to find the key and or the white sword.
Right.
And I suppose, just based on the way that Czardia is playing, I don't remember specifically if Czardia went a couple rooms into 4 to discover that it was completely ladder blocked, but assuming that they have that information, then obviously they've got to dive for every item until they pull the ladder.
Yeah, I believe they did see that Chevy room slash who was in that room? There was a boss in that room.
Yeah, it might have been a Gliok in that Chevy room, I can't remember. But it was definitely a Chevy. That was 2 rooms to the north, right at the start of 4, and there was nowhere else to go. Alright, so there's the any key for Eat My Steel, so that is one fewer thing that he has to worry about.
So now
and, okay, choosing just to bounce. Oh, he pulled the white sword as well.
Yeah, he's got all the gear out of there, so now it's a question, does he go back to 3, or does he go back to 7? Going back to 7. So this is needed, but it doesn't let. It means he's not going to find the ladder in here, but he does need this item.
And meanwhile, Czardia has spent a lot of time in this 6. Not to say that the same might not happen to Eat My Steel, but this is all of a sudden creating a window of opportunity.
Chat's right. I forgot that we got the bow out of 3, so. I'm not trying to create artificial hype, I just don't have good memory.
I think Czardia only has like 4 or 5 rooms left in the very south end here. Maybe I'm misremembering. Oh, another bomb upgrade, which once again is only +3. They're cheap. The runners have plenty of money. 14 bombs. I mean, you can't be unhappy about having 14 max bombs.
Yeah, this is why I track every single thing I do in this game, because I don't have a memory.
Yeah, I've fallen that way as well. When I started playing, like, I kept some things in my head and put some things on a tracker, and as time goes on, I remember less and less.
Okay, so Eli still has our
There's
power
that
bracelet.
power bracelet. Okay.
So this
And so it'll be really interesting. Like, we still think that there's possibility that 5 is also power bracelet blocked. And so if by some amazingness, Eat My Steel ends up in 5 before Czardia, and it turns out that 5 has the ladder, well, there's the ladder.
Alright, so 6 has the ladder. Czardia has almost made the ladder.
Anything
Right,
can happen.
So Czardia is in Schrodinger mode. If they want to, we have all of the important items. We've already found them all. So any of the items that are currently left, which is the silvers, the wand, and the atlas, could be in 9. So if Czardia wants to, they can go mode this 5 and just try to take the guess that it's in 9. Eat My Steel is actually going to end up finding this triforce a lot faster than Czardia did, and they're going to be able to go to the south corner with the map the first time. So they're actually going to make up some time in this 6. They're going to still have to get all the way to the bottom corner, but they're not going to have to do it twice like Czardia did.
And killing one of the 3 little dig doggers, and then returning to the room in order to grab that triforce. Good strategy. And there is the Atlas for Czardia, which ended up being the item 5. So I guess that means that our...
We've got Wand. Oh, Red Candle is still out there somewhere.
Oh, of course, 4. We haven't been in 4 to see what its item is, because
Right.
it was ladder blocked.
But that's another spot that Eat My Steel can make up time now that they have essentially, are in Schrodinger mode. They can just skip the item with 5 and just try to dig out the item in 4.
My Steel is fighting his way through this Gleeok. The test of this block pushes. We know that it does not. He's got to continue a bit further into the south of Dungeon 6, but not this way. It's the shoot room.
Oh, shoot.
Speaking of shoot, that's what Czardia chose to do to the Goma, right in the eye. Moving on to the next room of 5.
So it looks like Zardia is taking the time to just dig all these things. And this is almost looking like if this... so the 3 rooms to the left of where Zardia is right now, those are ladder blocked. So to get to those 3 rooms, we have to find the staircase. They tried to bomb on the left-hand side of that. Didn't work. So that's another spot where you guys still can make up time, is that they just take the staircase.
Right, they happen to choose, the right way to go at the beginning here. A little bit of a trolley 5, and so it's another place for potential time makeup. But yeah, we know...
Yeah, there's a lot of space. There's still a lot of space to be made up here. These runners right now are probably going to be, if everything goes about the same, I'd say they're probably going to be about 3 to 4 minutes separate in going into 9. If all else stays the same, which is nothing essentially. That's just
9, the great equalizer for a reason.
Yeah, that's the difference between. Sorry.
I was going to say, we've definitely seen 9s that the runners have a difference of 10 or 15 minutes in terms of completing.
Right, and really that's the difference. That could be the difference between one runner just having a concept of, I'm going to take staircases, and the other one be like, I'm going to bomb walls.
And so, did Czardia have to go through every room of this 5 except for...
Well, if this isn't the Triforce, then they will have
those
to...
other 3.
Yep, they gotta go find that staircase. Eat My Steel is picking up their ladder right now, so... he doesn't know which spot 5 is, but let's see. I wonder if Eat My Steel goes to 4 first, just because they know where it is.
Yeah, I think that actually would make sense as a play. It's a little bit of a pain in the neck to get to, I suppose. I also wonder if he's gonna take a quick pit stop at the parry since it's right here. Yeah. And is there anywhere he could whistle to get there quicker? I don't know that there is. But yeah, it'll be interesting also for us in terms of watching, just if he chooses to go to 4 next. While Czardia is still hanging out here in 5, it looks like Czardia has found a transport.
Yeah, so they've only got 3 more rooms to cover on this left-hand side. This could be a Triforce.
There's the compass! Oh my goodness!
Oh, he missed 1 room!
Wow. Okay, so that's a huge potential time makeup then for Eat My Steel. If Eat My Steel... Oh, Eat My Steel is here in 5.
They're gonna find this is the item. So they've got the book.
Oh, wow, yeah, so if they happen to just stumble over into the Triforce room right here at the beginning, all of a sudden...
And they have the map too, so this is now like within a minute of each other of a race.
And he's choosing to bomb.
Okay,
It doesn't open this way, but at least he's already thinking about it and needs a way to get into that room. Yeah, this could be really interesting all of a sudden.
We didn't even need to get to 9 to make this go faster. We just needed one staircase troll.
Does Eat My Steel have bait? I don't remember him purchasing it.
Wait, was bait just required? No, he doesn't have bait.
And is currently also choosing to go straight down.
Okay, I looked away for 2 seconds and bait was required? What? A bait required seed?
That is a rarity.
Wow. All of that, and now the meta swings right back to Czardia because there's no way that Eat My Steel can actually finish this dungeon. They've got to go, hopefully, remember where, or mark where a bait shop is.
The good news is this the room where the compass was? No, the compass was in
It's in the trolley like
V5 rather
section.
than V8, right? Or V7, yeah. My goodness. There's always so much variety in so many different ways.
This is why this game is so good.
Yeah.
Like, you're so close. Like, 2 runners are going, they get real close to each other, then a big gap opens up, then they all of a sudden, like, somebody makes the right decision, they're right next to each other again. Alright.
And there's our silvers in 4, so that is one fewer thing to have to worry about in dungeon number 9. It seems like.
So 9 is going to have our red candle, 9 is going to have our wand, and we are in go mode at 101.
Czardia still has a couple of dungeons after this one to return to go grab triforce, as it appears. 3 should not take that long. 8 might take a bit of time.
It could get a little trolly, yeah. The 4 is not going to be trolly. We're up to 6 for Czardia, and they are into cleanup mode.
And sadly, my steel is just not having the luck in terms of choosing the right path to find the compass.
Well, even if he did, he would keep clearing this dungeon out. If you see a meat block and it's blocking one room, you're just gonna go through the whole thing until you find that compass. So.
Yeah, it's funny, yeah. Eat My Steel and Czardia took a different path, but I think they're going to end up seeing the same number of rooms in 5.
Yeah.
Eat My Steel is just going to have to see a few of them twice. Alright, he's just discovered the segment.
What is this? 8? Oh, wow.
My goodness.
That is ugly times 5.
I can see the Brontosaurus in the negative space.
Yes, that's true.
It's wearing a cape, however, in the negative space, so that's pretty interesting. Alright, Eat My Steel has found the staircase, so he's about to get a compass in another 2 rooms. And then he's going to get the bad news.
Ryu is not wearing a cape. The Brontosaurus is wearing a cape. I don't know if anybody watched any Ninja Gaiden streams for Marcus, but he loves doing cape recaps when he falls off of this one cliff.
Thank you for explaining the reference, because I had no idea what you were talking about.
Alright, so Eat My Steel now knows that he goes and picks up this thing. He actually skipped this compass because he's like, well, it has to be
Surely
true.
it must be the Triforce right there. Nope.
Yeah. And I think he had already seen the meat block, so now
Yeah,
his
look at him
pause
just
is-
pause on this continue screen now. That's just... yeah.
Oh, Chad says his jaw actually dropped out. He actually just like went agape on stream.
It's understandable.
So does he have a meat shop marked on his
I
map?
would have to imagine, yes. Having made that mistake once, I kind of vowed never to do it again. When you discover you need the meat and you never marked a meat shop, yeah, that is like the saddest thing ever. And so he heads directly to the meat shop, spends 66 of his many, many rupees, picks up the meat, and is ready to continue.
Alright, we've got Czardia back in 3 to go collect this last triforce they need. Eat My Steel is going to be going into their, level 4 right now? Oh, they're going back, they're back at level 5. So they will have just 4 to finish. If they get the silvers out of 4, they're only going to be a couple minutes apart. But we need Eat My Steel to get the silvers out of 4.
Indeed. And yeah, he's already got the map. He knows he's missing the silvers. It's not a very big dungeon. But it's possible that he might choose to take a wild gamble, having felt that a few things have not gone his way. I don't know. Like, the meat block, you could easily imagine that that's trolled your opponent as well.
I guess Czardia, by throwing meat all over the overworld, he made the Guerrilla hungry for one time.
It's a good strategy. I'm gonna have to remember that one.
Yeah, if you just spam the overworld with meat, then you have to have the meat block. Got it.
All right, so Czardia is ready to head into Dungeon 9. Eat My Steel is heading into Dungeon 4, where his final Triforce and the silvers both remain.
Czardia did not take the time to check mags, even though they're at 11, so they had a decent shot at it.
Looks like we've got a 55 room 9, pretty large.
And it looks like there's not very many single spaces in this 9 where it would be easy to have a huge magical staircase block, so...
Yeah, with all the bombs, hopefully some bomb walls and the any key will help you discover a lot of the rooms pretty quickly.
That is a roar. Czardia has already found Ganon. It is one room away from wherever he is right now.
So they've got a couple of checks either to the north or to the west of Bingo.
So Ganon is in E4.
Yep.
And it seems like there's a way to get over here if this has a door up. Oh, it does not.
Or a bomb.
Ooh, okay.
Alright,
okay.
must be approached from the north.
And Eat My Steel did find the silvers on the way to his Triforce.
Okay. A non-trivial Ganon location. Eat My Steel's making up some time in 4. I think we have a race.
So where do we check first? Do we try to go up and around to get into Ganon's room here? Looks like that's what Czardia is thinking, is let's get into this second row and try to go at Ganon from the top.
And it looks like this is going to work. Czardia has the bombs.
Yeah,
Not sure why they didn't choose to go south there. I'm not sure if they were just trying to see if there was a quick compass pickup, possibly, while they happen to be in this region.
possibly. Alright, Ganon. Mags is right near start, only about 2 screens away from, actually 1 screen away from the level 9.
Very good
Zardia,
stun lock.
that's the triforce. Now we just need a Zelda, but Eat My Steel is already only one room away from this Ganon. They're going to hear Ganon as soon as they take this key door to the north.
Always exciting as a runner. To be in Dungeon 9. Have not seen a done from your opponent yet.
And you already heard Ganon. Yeah.
So if Czardia walks into a room with enemies and the shutter door opens instantly, we'll know that that Zelda is on the other side.
And Eat My Steel looks like they actually got to this Ganon faster. They didn't back up and try to get into anything.
That's right.
They went around, so
Yep.
we're still making up more time.
Yep. Just picked up some bombs. Eat My Steel still has plenty. Gonna head directly to the south. Gonna be in a Ganon fight momentarily. It's anybody's race.
That shutter door didn't open. This is not her. Held my breath for a second there. Look at that. Eat My Steel even checking for other
I
doors
like that
while he's
play.
fighting.
That's right. Looking to see if there's a bomb wall out for like a different possible way to go.
No, this Ganon is stuck in the right-hand corner, so Eat My Steel wisely goes back to the left-hand side, which is a little bit easier to manipulate Ganon from. It's harder for Ganon to get to the very farthest left tile than he is to the farthest right tile because his sprite damage box is on the right side of his body. But he's not getting, as the whole scene has proven, he's not getting lucky with these stun locks. There we go.
There we go. Okay, finally at the end. But yeah, I was saying earlier that every time Eat My Steel flips a coin, he ends up getting tails. Alright.
So where did he go? Does he start
Where
taking
is
matters?
the
Does he run in the same direction?
Seems like Zardia's probably, I don't know, like a dozen rooms ahead. But all it takes is the correct one. Could get lucky in just about any direction.
Yeah, I don't know why Zardia is... Oh, they've got to clear this room to go back out of the room. Okay. Can I say that bottom room can't be hurried?
Obviously
Just
couldn't
get out of
be in
here.
that. Yeah. And right now it looks like Eat My Steel is retracing some of the rooms that we've already seen Zardia go through, I think.
Zardia looks like they're trying to head back towards start. And that makes sense from where we start, from what we know now. The whole top side's not it. The flange on the right's not it. So can't bomb left there either.
Yeah, it seems like somewhere between California and Texas. That is to say, bottom left, bottom middle somewhere.
And we've already twice had single shutter doors that didn't open. And now we get a double shutter door, so that's not it either.
Alright, Zardia's getting good coverage of most of the kind of southwest corner of this dungeon. There's still a couple of rooms a little bit farther to the north. We're going to try bombing up there.
But Eat My Steel starting to take staircases, so if
And
magical
yeah, that
staircase
could end up being the key to victory, because it doesn't look like there's an easy way to get up into like L4, L5 kind of range. So perhaps we will have to take the right staircase. Oh my goodness.
Is this it?
Bomb wall?
That's it!
The door
Eat My
opens!
Steel finds
It
him
was in the
top
upper
corner!
right!
Wow!
just like that, Eat My Steel comes from what seemed like an incredible deficit in the middle of the match.
Oh, wow. Overcoming a lot in that match to get the dot done. Eat My Steel finishes with a time of 1:13.51. Wow. So much like was not working in Eat My Steel's favor, but for him, he routed a little bit cleaner and just kept being aggressive, and it let him catch back up. And for Czardia, like, such a well-run race,
Yeah.
and, you know, just a little bit of confusion. They didn't come to the right. When they got up to that top right corner where the 9 is...
Right, yeah, it ended up being a bomb hole. That was kind of the key to it right there, just 2 rooms away from Zelda.
Yeah, they didn't want to... It looks like the big difference is that Czardia chose not to clear this Wizroad room. Eat My Steel, well run.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
So yeah,
So-
how did you feel about that one? It seemed like some things didn't necessarily go your way.
Oh my god, I felt so behind, especially with those easy items in 7 and 8. The ones you needed. Well, I guess you didn't need the ones in 8, but the ones in 7. The one in 7, the power bracelet, definitely needed. But once I found those, I was like, oh god, I'm way behind.
Indeed, it was the case that Czardia both got the useful items out of 8, as well as the red ring out of 1, kind of way ahead of you, and so started off kind of being pretty far ahead, kind of in the middle of the match, it seemed.
Yeah, at least I found the stuff early when I went back there, so it wasn't like a long gig when I had to go back. I had the whistle, so that was kind of nice to be able to get around.
And then tell us about your reaction to a little thing that happened in, I think it was Dungeon 5.
Oh, the meat block? Yeah, that was wonderful. I saw the compass, I was like, well, it's either here or I'm going to be very confused. I forgot for temporarily that the meat block was there, so I picked up the compass, I was like, oh yeah, that's a hard meat block. Run and grab that.
So you, for a while there, until you started picking up those quality of life items, you were a good 3 to 5 minutes behind. But you were gaining really fast until that meat block happened. Czardia had already bought a meat. He got to that block. So all of a sudden it was like, oh, that's another big time sink. But you just kept blasting through dungeons, and there was always, every dungeon you got about 3 to 4 rooms less than Czardia did. And it just got you to the point where you were only maybe 5 or 6 rooms behind when you found Ganon.
Oh wow, so he was in 9 before me, huh?
He was in 9 before you, but not not nearly by as much as you think. It was they dug a little bit more to try and get to that doorway Ganon had to get into, because you had to come in from the top. So they dug a little bit more, and they were like, they killed Ganon, and you were like thumbing holes to try and find Ganon at that time.
Oh wow, that's crazy.
So this gets you up to 2 and 2. Now that you have a couple of races under your belt, what do you really like about this format?
Oh, I just, anytime you get to play more games, I think that's always a good thing. So I like that. Everybody gets to play a bunch of games, and we all get to see kind of how the flags are, and we get to see the variety of different racers. And I think these flags really give people a chance. Where with having to find the extra items, it makes it all the more random for the randomizer. So I kind of like that.
Czardia is digging out the bottom corner of the map. They have about 4 rooms on the northwest side, or the southwest side, that they haven't seen. But the biggest difference between the two is that when you got to that Wizroad room in the top right corner of 9, in, I think, the dash column, you fought it, and Czardia ran away from it.
Yeah, I mean, I ran away from it first, but once I looped back around there, I was like, well, let's see if she's over in this top corner, and then kind of check that one off the box and go from there. And just taking a peek at Zardia's map there. Oh, good lord.
Yeah, this is
feel bad for that.
a fairly big 9, and Czardia, it seems like, is just about going to last location, finding the princess here.
Yeah, it looks like they're trying to make their way down into that bottom left corner that they haven't marked yet. And
I think possibly Czardia had already bombed that wall too. So I wonder if there is a missing mark somewhere, or there is a way that Czardia just hasn't tried yet in order to get into that room, and maybe has a staircase.
it's almost looking at this point like it's a magical staircase into a empty room. Like the one-way staircase.
I don't think there's any one-way staircase.
I meant like a staircase you go and you get to the other side and you're like, oh, this leads to nowhere, I have to go back. Yeah, not like the ones in like Second Quest. I misspoke.
Alright, gotcha, sorry.
It's okay. I said that you guys would be panicking at 1 minute into the race at one point, so...
Yeah, I wasn't feeling too bad until I saw those items in 7 and 8. I was like, oh man, he got those, and he's been off to the races, and he's probably in 9 while I'm still looking for 5. So that's where I was totally panicking, for sure.
It'll be entertaining to watch back. In the first, I don't know, like 10 minutes or so, you guys were almost perfectly in sync, like step for step at points for like a minute at a time. It was interesting.
I think I said at one point at 18 minutes you had the exact same knowledge and were entering the same room, the same overworld square. Like you'd done everything like slightly differently each way, but you had seen the same number of dungeons, had the same items, and then the level 8 really changed the outlook of it, but you persevered.
Yeah, and that level 8 too, I took an early death to that manhandler. It just like chased me through that whole room. I was like, get away!
Yeah.
And then
Czardia has made
death.
it back into the wizard room now, and so it seems like finally gonna find the path.
So yeah, I took that death in 8 and just redirected me to the triforce. So I was like, oh, triforce, let's go. And didn't go back until I needed something else. That's the way it works.
But yeah, Czardia's gonna bomb this wall onto the right, and discover the path to Zelda, and be able to finish out the sea.
And there's our shutter door. And Czardia finishes with a time of 1:22:19. GG's to Czardia, GG's to Eat My Steel. This puts you up to 2-2, so you are in a good spot to get one more win and have a good chance at getting not having to play in that like round of 128. If my math is right, I do a lot of judging for tournaments, so I think we have to have like in a 128 round to eliminate about 25 people, if I remember the math right. And
yeah.
Oh, sorry.
I was saying, yeah, I'm just racing when they tell me to. So I don't know the ins and outs myself.
It's a good way to do it. And with us, we now have Czardia. Czardia, GG's.
GG's, thank you. GG's, Eat My Steel.
Yeah, GG, man.
Boy,
So
what a
this-
nasty trick level 9 played on me there.
Yeah, the level 9 was pretty nasty. You were a handful of rooms ahead of Eat My Steel going in. Of course, that one wall, or that one shutter door that had the wizards blocking it was pretty annoying.
Yeah, I think that was a full clear level 9.
Yeah, it looked like you had a very full map there. How did this race feel for you?
It felt good. I thought I was playing well. Things seemed to be falling into place. I thought I routed pretty well overall. I found the ladder a bit late, but it was deep in level 6.
Yeah, there were a couple of spots where you started to build up an advantage, and then Eat My Steel would start rallying back. Can you guess where one of those advantages was?
I'm guessing finding Zelda.
Oh, I meant one of the advantages where you got a big lead.
Let's see. I wouldn't really have any guesses.
Was there an item you were carrying that he might not have been?
Okay, red ring potentially.
No, the meat block.
Okay, it was the bait. Wow.
Yeah, you had that bait early, and that at that point, you and Eat My Steel were both in 5 at the same time, and you having the bait block meant that Eat My Steel was still like doing the clear. He did the exact same clear as you, all the way to the bottom corner. Be like, okay, it's got to be in the segment, all the way through the segment, pick up the compass, and then was like, really?
Yeah, there was some dungeon crawling required in this seed for sure.
Yes, you covered a lot of rooms overall. That was the other place that Eat My Steel ended up making up some time after falling a little bit behind. It was just that it seemed like you had a few dungeons toward the end where you were visiting just about every room, and Eat My Steel managed to get lucky and avoid a few of those choices.
I look forward to watching the VOD. It should be an entertaining race.
It was throughout. You guys were like in a dead heat in like the first 20 minutes, and then you decided to go to 1 and made a left-hand turn, and it took Eat My Steel a longer time to go to 1, and started with a right-hand turn in that dungeon, and it just kind of like played out completely differently.
Well, the most important thing is I had fun, and I'm looking forward to the continuing tournament. I want to thank everybody for coming in. I know it's a bit late for everybody this evening, and it's been a busy night in Zelda 1 Land.
Indeed, we have a lot of races, but glad that you guys could put on a good show. And yeah, I want to thank Propies for doing our tracking today. And yeah, someone was asking about it in the chat. I think we have a race possibly at 7 a.m. tomorrow, which looks likely to actually get a restream. So there's going to be even more coming up in the not too distant future.
Yep, looks like I'll be back here doing commentary with Alan Huffley doing some tracking and maybe chatting as well. That'll be Jake Hooper and King Doll at 7 a.m. on the main channel. And then we have another race at noon, Dragon Dark versus Stamm, and SpeedGaming 3. And then 3 more races during the day.
It's a great time of year if you love Zelda 1 Randomizer. There's a lot to watch.
Eat My Steel, Czardia, any last thoughts?
Hey, thanks you guys for doing the comms, and thanks everybody for watching, and people doing behind the scenes with the restream and the tracking. You guys are awesome. Thank you.
Yeah, just a big thanks to everyone who participated. Big thanks to the chat. I always love engaging with the chat. It's good to see everybody coming in and watching these races, enjoying it. I've had a lot of good feedback so far about the tournament, and looking forward to continuing the rest. And yeah, this was just Corner Princess Zelda, one-shotter room. Ugh.
Indeed.
Well, GG's Renner, and hopefully we'll see you in another race coming up next week. Morgan, wanna close us out?
Yeah, I'm looking forward to more races and hopefully going to do some more comms. This is my first chance to actually comm a race in this tournament. But yeah, it's a very deep field, and it seems like no matter what the records are here in the Swiss, there's a lot of good races to come. So thanks to both all the runners and all the people who are working in the production or put on these restreams, because it's a lot of fun to watch. Thanks.
Have a good night, friends.